first shift at McDonald's and I want to quit. I thought it wouldn't be so bad. My parents said anyone could work there, and since it's a franchise, I thought it would be chill. I have a weekend lunch shift today. My co-workers are friendly, but I'm 7 hours into my shift and I feel like I'm either going to cry or have a panic attack. Is there any way I could talk to my manager and ask for the not so busy hours? IDK, I need the hours and the money, I'm just struggling so bad. McDonald's was the second worst job I ever had. Worst was the grocery store. A place like Dairy Queen is 10x easier. Or a gas station is nice and easy and time goes by decently fast. You aren't wrong, McDonald's is fucking terrible to work at. Just look for something else and leave after a week if you can, is my advice, lol. Fast food is the hardest job I've ever had. The first few weeks are definitely rough. Especially if it's your first job. It sucks being new. And there's not much you can do about that besides accepting that it's gonna suck until you get comfortable. It gets much better. Especially if you get along with your coworkers. Corporate America doesn't view you as a person, unfortunately. Only as a replaceable cog in their machine. Anyone could work there. We need to stop with this misconception that fast food is easy. It's not. A way more of a hustle than sitting your ass behind a desk and typing on a computer. And it's more dangerous. Burns. Slips and falls. Threatening customers. Fast food is hard. But if you can tough it out, there's nothing you won't be able to handle in the future. You are still learning. That is the biggest adjustment period. Once you become more familiar with the process, it will get easier. Myself, I have been stuck in the grill area by myself during a dinner rush because 2 guys called in sick while a third walked out on the spot upon hearing we were shorthanded. I survived that and discovered I can handle a lot more stress than I thought I could. They need you most during the busy hours. Stay or quit, but do not ask for not so busy hours. Tell your manager to go suck a McDick. And then find some mindless assembly line labor job from a temp place. Trust me, it'll be like 20,000x easier. And you'll probably make more. Fast food is not for the faint of heart. Try retail. It's a bit slower paced. Still awful customers. But you can get away with blowing time by folding and putting away clothes. And cashiering makes time go by fast. It was the worst job I've ever had. I'd rather go back to Taco Bell or Waffle House. Just go anywhere but McDonald's. You'll get hired for a kitchen job. Insist on back of house. At least then you get to be away from the customers, but you have to be 18 to be on the fryers. Good luck. Oh, and when you decide to leave, do it in the middle of a rush. I also worked at McDonald's. Had accommodations for a few weeks before managers complained about said accommodations. I was so stressed working there I was puking in the hallway because they refused to let me run to the bathroom. And complained if I called out sick. Workers should be paid like 30h for the toe of shit we had to deal with. I felt like this at my first job. Walgreens. I'd cry sometimes on my shifts. I should have just focused on college more instead of wanting to have some side cash for the movies. Or fancy pens. But really, I was probably filled with dread because I know once you start working, that is sort of the end of your freedom. Your production will always be owned by someone else. Look into manufacturing jobs. Most will train you and like 50 of the time is waiting for the machine to do its thing. Fuck fast food. Give it 3 days or 3 acts of blatant abuse if it's not good by then, or they are a bunch of F-ups. Then walk. Try Walmart or Target. Fast food joints are not a good fit for anxiety disorders. Emo. Have your parents worked at McDonald's or literally any other food service job? If not, they don't know WTF they're talking about. I've never seen literally any kitchen where it wasn't a lot of hot, sweaty, greasy hard work all the time. Almost anyone can get a job at McDonald's. Maybe. But not everyone can manage to do it and keep it. At least now. Even if you don't stay. Maybe you won't be one of those people who thinks, oh, any idiot could do that. Well, you couldn't. So I hope now you have some respect for the workers. Also, crying in the walk-in is a time-honored tradition, so feel free to do that. See if you can find a Trader Joe's near you. Starting pay is decent and the stores are always fully staffed, so you'll always have help on hand. Look for something involving retail. Maybe a backroom stocker position or something. Less customers to deal with and you're basically just transferring stuff from the truck to the floor. It's usually more stable hour-wise and you aren't dealing with alternating shifts and the like. McDonald's is like every restaurant on earth. You are expected to work like you own the place and get paid like you are a burden. My advice: gift before you get complacent. They pay shit, so get a job that also pays shit but isn't as stressful. Get a job changing oil. Or even better, get a job at a construction company shoveling dirt. It will suck, but it will be peaceful and you have upward mobility. Your parents are wrong about anyone being able to work there. I'd love to watch them do a shift themselves. Most everyone has had a time or a job where they struggled. You'll get through this. And if you can, the experience will help you in the future. Kinda like breaking up with a lover. The first time is the end of the world. The second time a little easier. Etc. If you quit, you'll basically stay where you are and you're missing the opportunity to work through it and get the experience. For me, it always got better when I got the first paycheck. Every job will be like hell when you first start. Once you get experience, then it'll be second nature. I'd say give it 6 weeks. If you haven't improved by then, it's not for you. They'll probably tell you that's what you were hired for. It's going to be tough at first, but I'd give it maybe a week or 2 and see how you feel after that. If you just can't handle it though, then it's best to look for something more suitable. I worked at McDonald's for nearly a year. It was crazy. I had one woman try to get me to come out to the parking lot through the drive-thru other a burger. I ended up quitting due to a POS manager and started working at Wendy's a few weeks later. The difference was unbelievable. They had their fast times. Sure, but it was nowhere near as bad as that hellhole. And I only received compliments instead of threats. If you're old enough, security guard jobs are pretty quiet in some areas. Like a doorman at an apartment building. Or mall security. Of course, it also depends on where one lives. Yeah, I don't know how people do the McDonald's jobs. You get the trashiest customers during the day, and if you work night shifts, you get the drunks. You aren't making interesting food. You just operate to whatever beep is going off at your station. Find a job, sure, but would recommend anything but this kind of fast food chain. It's funny, I just realized after being on the other side of the hourly jobs in the franchises, Domino's and in a uni city, it's just the worst. The amount of work and stress you receive in an hour is probably not worth it. But you do need the hours, so I think I'll tell you what I did is set some expectations with the hours. Ask them explicitly and discuss rather than letting it go, or else it will be certainly assumed that you're good with long hours. Any money is not worth more than mental peace. I just want to say that the McDonald's drive-thru employees who work the a.m. shift and hand me breakfast on my way to work are my personal heroes. I hope you guys get paid what you deserve someday. I made it 2 weeks in fast food. I cried every day. It might not have been so bad. But they had me doing the whole closing shift, including drive-thru and cleaning the dining area by myself within a week of being there. Who you work with can make or break any job.